Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Pleasant View, West Virginia. We're here on a beautiful fall night at Pritchard Williamson Field for the annual Battle of the Hill. I'm joined here with my tag team partner, Ryan Pritchard. We have a couple special guests here. We have Don and Jonna Davis. Now, what's interesting about this, folks, is principal at Hamlin and principal at Guyan Valley. That's right, folks, the house is divided. As you can see, this is what they're playing for. Last couple years, has that been in the Hamlin gym?
Well, we just made the trophy last year, and yeah, I'm surprised that Jonna even remembers what it looks like because it's always been at Hamlin since we made it. So, we had a lot of fun in putting it together, but it's a serious thing now, and I brought it over here tonight. She got to see it again, but I plan on taking it back home.
So, Jonna, I'll try to get to a little bit play back here to see what you think about his last statements.
Well, I just want to say he's not taking very good care of it because did you see the dust on that thing? It needs to come back to our house where we will take very good care of it.
Well, let me tell you something, folks. I've had the pleasure of talking to these two for a while, and this is what makes this rivalry great. It's so much fun to see them supporting the kids and doing all this. And I'll start with you first, Jonna. So talk to me a little bit about Guyan Valley, what you got going on just the school itself.
Well, we've had a lot of work done this summer. We got Armstrong out here. I want to give a big shout out to them for painting our library, which hadn't been painted in decades. Actually, nobody could ever tell me the last time it was painted. So it got a deep clean and a fresh coat of paint. We redid a room into a conference room for our teachers so that we could have meetings with parents. We had Lincoln County Day Report come out. I want to give a big shout out to those folks because they helped paint our hallways, give it a fresh coat. Kids came back, they enjoyed it, really just kind of brightening up the place. School beautification right now is a big key for us, but that ties right into academics because if the kids don't feel like, hey, this is a great place to come into, I really don't want to be here. So it's about engaging the student, making them want to be here and feel like it's home.
Oh, absolutely. And I can tell you, folks, from walking through the school today, it looks really like a different school than what I'd remember in the past. So, Don, how about over at Hamlin? What have they got going on?
Well, we've got a lot of things going on as well that really focuses around a new process it's a county-wide adopted process. It's called The Leader in Me, and it teaches kids leadership skills. And one of the things that I thought was good tonight is the 8th graders from Guyan Valley, they had to list a leadership skill, and it goes right along with the Leader in Me program process that we're all doing right now. We've also done a lot of work at the school. Just a lot of painting has been completed, and I have to also give a big shout out to Armstrong and you, Mr. Vance, because I'm going to tell you, the work that you all did in our cafeteria and our hallways, I mean, it looks outstanding. The kids appreciate it, the parents appreciate it, and just a lot of things going on, great things at Hamlin. Our attendance is going up, our test scores are going up, and a lot of it has to do with the climate and the culture that we're building within the building. And it takes the whole community. It's not just the staff and the students in the building. It takes the parents. It takes local businesses. I mean, we've had not only help from Armstrong, but also 7-Eleven, Kim's Greenhouse, City National, Geno's, Panther Pizzeria before it caught on fire, McDonald's. Just a lot of local businesses have stepped up to make our school a great place for our kids and to go to school and for our staff to come to work.
Well, I'm going to tell the folks here, being a part of this community, my kids go to Hamlin, but also knowing a lot of folks here at Guyan Valley, we're pretty fortunate, I think, to have the two of you actually running these schools because I have seen a difference in not just the schools, but the attitude of the kids. So also to tell you folks, there's a little vote coming up here. I hate to get into politics, but a school levy, I think that we need to get the people to support that to continue to help our kids because it provides so much to the students.
Absolutely. With the school levy, basically if it doesn't pass, as my good buddy Dana Snyder at Lincoln County High School says, if it doesn't pass, then we just have school. All the extracurriculars that are funded through the levy would go away. So it's very, very important that it passes because it does so much for the students at our school.
Well, again, before we leave here to get ready for this annual game, first off, I want to say congratulations to both you two for doing a fantastic job at the schools you represent. Like I said, we're fortunate to have you, and I hope you stay in Lincoln County in these school systems. And no matter who wins tonight, okay, I hope it's still, I hope we have a lot of fun with it.
Okay, so I will approach the 800-pound gorilla, obviously out here on the field. You've been tiptoeing around it all day. I'm just going to ask, when you all go home tonight, will there be words exchanged? Will there be maybe some glaring stares? And how was it this week at the house? Jonathan, I'll let you take that one first.
Actually, Dawn and I we work so well together. I mean, we started out as co-teachers. That's how we met, so we work well. And I just wanted to say that the rivalry is fun, but it builds community between two schools that eventually funnel into one. And that's what it's truly about, is about us as a county being a whole community together, working together for the kids. That's what it's really about.
Okay. I think that was a little PC on the response. I like it. Very professional. Mr. Davis? How's it been this week at the house, and how's it going to be after tonight? I mean, you've had this for a while. I know you want to hold on to it, and I notice she's holding it right now. Is that going to be taboo, or?
Well, she hasn't seen it in a while, so I'm sure that she wants to refamiliarize herself with it for the short time that she's going to have it. It's probably a good thing that we're driving separate vehicles home.
All right, folks.
That'll give time for things to cool off a little bit.
I absolutely love it. And again, that's what the rivalry is all about. Brian and I have been talking about it. We lived through it. We went to the high schools here. You guys are here. You guys have reinstilled the rivalry since we consolidated in 06. The middle schools have taken off and ran with it. Now, granted, there's no county championship on the line tonight, but bragging rights for the next 365. I mean, Brian, you know what I'm saying.
And let me just say that, and I'm sure some guys watching this know, some of my best friends came from this rivalry. And
absolutely.
You're exactly right. You can have fun. It's like beating up on your little brother. You love him to death, but of course you want to win. But you said afterwards, we're all going to one place, and that's fantastic.
All right, well, folks, here in just a little while, we will have the annual renewal of the Battle of the Hill right here at Pritchard Williamson Field in Pleasant View, West Virginia, right after this brief message on the Armstrong family of networks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here at Pritchard Williamson Field in beautiful downtown Pleasant View, West Virginia. Tonight it is not Army versus Navy. It's not Duke versus North Carolina. It's bigger and better than that. It is the Battle of the Hill between Guyan Valley and Hamlin. Probably the two biggest rivals here in Lincoln County. And, Brian, it's about bragging rights for the next 365 days.
Isn't it fun? I mean, I can tell you folks, having played in this rivalry, this was fantastic. I mean, like I said, I got some of my best friends played on the other side of the rivalry now.
This is true. This is true.
Like I said earlier, it's like your brother.
It is.
Death, but you want to beat him.
But you want to beat him, absolutely. Yeah.
Auburn, Alabama.
I mean, you got to think about on my side. Went to Hamlin, played at Hamlin, grew up in Hamlin. My mom and dad graduated from Guyan Valley, and I played against my father in high school in this very same rivalry. So yeah, all bets are off. Katie barred the door. It is time for middle school football here in Lincoln County, West Virginia. And Brian, this is the last game of the regular season. Hamlin comes in, still looking for that first win. Guyan Valley even at 3-3 on the season, and it looks like the Wildcats in their traditional all blue with the gold helmets will be kicking off. Hamlin wearing the white jerseys and the blue helmets and the blue pants, set back to receive. We are just a few moments away from the annual renewal of the Battle of the Hill.
And it is underway.
That was Logan Spinagle there on the return for the Bobcats, and they're right around midfield, probably around the 46-yard line. 1st and 10, Hamlin.
And, again, the emotions of this game. This first share, you just want to have to calm down a little bit.
Sure.
It's still football.
So Hamlin is in the huddle, calling their first play. It's a 1st and 10 from around the 47. We'll call that 47-yard line. Guyan Valley comes out, looks like in a 5 defense. That is running back Isaiah Koontz taking the direct snap for Hamlin. He's weaving his way upfield, and he's going to get positive yardage for the Bobcats. I do believe Mr. Seitz probably drove here to the game tonight. If he didn't, he sure looks like he can, because he is a nice-sized middle school football player on the defensive line for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually younger than that, so he's still got growing to do. Lots of it. Good-looking kid.
Very good-looking kid, as Hamlin picks up about 6 yards. We'll call it 7 yards. Second down and 3. Starcher under center. He's going to give to the first man through. I do believe that's Logan Spinagle on the carry for the Bobcats, and he's going to move the ball forward, but I think he's going to come up about a yard or 2 short, Brian, of the first down.
Had some nice penetration there to stop that. Of course, the quick hitter, you can see, I thought we were the first quick hitter.
Mm-hmm.
5 or 6, but we did a great job of closing in.
Okay, so it's going to be a third down and short, looks like, Brian. They have some very nice-sized individuals up front. Okay, we'll call them men. We'll call them young men. We will. All right, third down. First third down conversion attempt for Hamlin tonight. Third down, and we'll call it a long one. Direct snap under center. And he takes and he gives to the first man through the hole. Looks like it's going to be nice yardage there for the Bobcats. Pick up about 10, maybe 11 yards, and it'll be a first down Hamlin.
Yeah, nice off-tackle play. I mean, you can see they sealed it in really well on this one.
All right, so it is a first down for Hamlin. Clock begins to run after they set the chains. And the Wildcats on the defensive side of the ball. Hamlin on the move with the initial first down of the game. No score here from Pritchard Williamson Field. In the first quarter, 6:04 to go on a rolling clock.
Back out, looks at that little quick hitter. Ooh, big penetration.
Number 79, right on cue, Brian. There's the guy. You picked him out from the first play.
Yeah, I tell you, for Hamlin to have success on the ground tonight, you're going to have to try to contain that man right there.
Yes, because Thomas Seitz got in there quick and blew that up for a 2-yard loss. And the Bobcats now are behind the chains, Brian. Second down and around 12.
And I tell you, you got to say, that's pretty good to see a big guy like that move that quick. You can see he's got good footwork, so a lot of potential in this kid.
Yeah. Good-looking athlete there. All right, Hamlin comes up to the line of scrimmage. 3 backs in the backfield, everybody in tight. Direct snap. I believe that's Kuntz coming around, sweeping around the left end. Flag on the play as Kuntz is going to pick up yardage down the left sideline. And we're craning to see where he went out of bounds. Looks like down around the 20. But there is a flag on the play. I believe that one's coming back, Ryan.
Yeah.
Maybe a block in the back or a hold, perhaps.
I think, the hold. As you can see, the official just signed that. I mean,
Okay.
That's how they got the seal block on that, because, again, it was a nice play, good setup, and Isaiah did a great job to really, what you look at offenses, a lot are designed to do. They're trying to get the ball carrier 1-on-1 in space, which is exactly what happened here, and this time he got the better of the battle.
Okay, so they're going to mark off 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and that puts Hamlin way behind the chains on this one as they back across midfield to their own 47-yard line. Second down again, but it is second down and around Branchland for this transaction coming up for the Bobcats.
Again, drive-killing penalties.
We
see it all the time.
Let's see what the Cats have in the offensive bag here. They have one wide out split far to the right, 3 backs in the backfield. Starcher calls out the cadence, and one Bobcat got a jump early. I believe that's going to be a false start against Hamlin, and they're going to back him up 5 more yards.
Yeah, the only time you see the lineman that really does it when they get their name called is that situation. Like, please don't notice that it was me.
All right, second down, and a long way to go for Hamlin. And this is playing right into Guyan Valley's hands with the unforced penalties.
Well, I can tell you, folks watching this, that Coach Shemp doesn't have this play in his playbook.
No, many coaches probably don't, too, Brian.
Yeah.
I mean, second down and, close to 30, 32. Starcher takes the snap, and he drops straight back. Pass rush, flips it over, and pass is caught. I believe that is looking for that gentleman's number there. Number 24, Logan Spinagle there.
And again, you try to see him set up a screen out here, and that's exactly what I would have probably thought in that situation.
Another flag on the play. All right, so 3 offensive plays for Hamlin in these last 3 plays have ended in 3 penalties. Illegal man downfield. Penalty is declined, and it's going to be 3rd down.
Well, again, you can see Coach Shimp's kind of, well, wait a minute. Folks, I'm not for sure what that was.
Well, they declined the penalty. They took the
Okay.
play, so they declined the penalties. So they had to put it back where he was tackled at.
Yeah, that would be good to decline and still get the penalty. That'd be good for Guyan Valley if you can get that.
Right.
So it brings up 3rd and 24?
We'll call that 24. Hamlin's still creeping towards the 50. They're on their own 47. Big 3rd down here for the Bobcats.
Again, you know Guyan Valley's going to be looking probably for something outside or, again, that screen pass. If I'm the coach, I'm talking about the screen right here.
That's Kuntz with the ball. He's going to cut back the other way, and he's got space. Makes 1 man miss. Kuntz. All right, picks up positive yardage. Got a lot of the penalty yardage back on the other side of the sticks there, but it's going to bring up a 4th down, but a lot more manageable this time, Brian, for the Bobcats.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what you can do in that situation. You know, Ethan Jeffrey came up, and really, if he doesn't make that tackle, Isaiah may get that 1st down.
Yeah.
So it was a great play by Isaiah to cut it back across field. And, you know, I hate to say this, you're really fortunate not to get a clipping penalty right here, because usually when a running back cuts back like that, here they come from the other side, and you get that penalty that you're like in the way.
Pickup was around 27, 28 yards for Kuntz, so it brings up a 4th down and 8. Direct snap. Tries to make a man miss, makes another man miss, and he's going back against the grain. I believe that's Kuntz, and he is going to have enough for the 1st down. I don't see any flags. Oh, flag late over on the sideline.
I think we'll get a
Maybe a late hit out of bounds.
and I don't think it was really. I think he drug him down out of bounds, you know, a little bit.
Sure.
You're holding on, and that's such a tough penalty because you're just trying to be aggressive and make a good play.
All right, let's see what the call is.
But I will say
Stop.
that was an
It's a dead ball.
outstanding run.
Personal foul against Guyan Valley. So that's going to mark that up. It's a 15-yard penalty, and the Bobcats just got some extra on that particular play, and they're going to be close to the 10-yard line, I think, if not inside the 10.
And what a – got to give it up. That was 2 phenomenal plays by Kuntz. I mean, the first one to get – him and Spinall will get back some of the chunky yards, and that play right there was Isaiah juking and jiving and just get me to that 1st down marker.
Okay, so it looks like a 1st and 10 from around the 15. Maybe we'll call it the 12. We'll call that the 12. Cats in a man in motion straight up the gut and hammered down there after a short gain.
Yeah, I think trying to see the number there. I think that was number 80, Dylan Holly, did a nice job of filling the hole. Again, there was an initial big hole there. Linebacker did a good job of shift over to cut it off because that had big play potential again.
All right, 2nd down for Hamlin as they get the huddle, get in their huddle, and get the play from Coach Shimp.
Looks.
All right,
Kind of looked like they went to a
Starcher is
6-man
under
front.
center. Kuntz goes in motion out of the backfield. It's another dive play straight up the middle. Pick up a yard maybe. And before he is stopped there.
And should I say who stopped him? Or do you think you know it?
Absolutely.
I think that would be, again, Thomas Seitz.
Thomas Seitz.
I think it's 3 on hit for him. And it's going to be, you can see what it looked like Guyan did right there. They kind of shift the linebackers out to try to prevent these sweeps. With the line they got, it's going to be tough sledding up the middle.
Right, it is. Okay, so 3rd down. And we'll call that around 6 yards for the Hamlin. Direct snap back to the back. And he's got a nice hole. He goes in, and it's a touchdown for the Bobcats. I believe that was Isaiah Kuntz on the direct snap. I can't really tell from this angle.
Yeah, it was Isaiah.
Was that Isaiah?
I mean, I get to give the line credit there. There was a nice hole for him to cut back into. You know, he sold the sweep, and you can see that Guyan Valley's trying to protect him from going outside. He's had so much success, but then he just cuts it back up. You know, that old running back, as they say, put one foot in the ground and cut it up.
Right. So Kuntz is going to pick up about 7 yards on the touchdown run. And we're going to wait and see what happens here on the 2-point conversion. Another direct snap back to Kuntz, and he's going to be swallowed up before he can get in, so the run fails. But the Bobcats take their initial drive of the game, Brian, and drive about 53 yards. And with 2:08 left to go in the first quarter, the Bobcats lead their county rivals 6-0.
And, for Hamlin, this is a great start. I mean, even though you had all those penalties and you can still battle back and get that touchdown, they got to have a lot of confidence right now because very easily they could have been pinned back and had to punt the Guyan Valley, but they used a lot of clock. Mm-hmm. They had a successful drive to score off the bat. I mean, I don't think Coach Shimkin asked for, other than the penalties, that was a great drive.
Sure, but overcame the penalties on the drive, Brian. I mean,
yeah,
that was something.
And that, you got to give the kids a lot of credit because easily they could have dropped their head.
Sure.
Just dropped it down and been like, oh, well, that drive's over. Well, we got a quick moment here. I just want to give a little shout out to the Guyan Valley cheerleaders. We've got Abby Clay, Georgia Miller, Cammie Mabry as the 6th graders, 7th graders Riley Johnson, Perry Bowen, Laren Cox, Anna Marie Davis, Holly Dean, Kennison Catan, Annalise McLeod, Alyssa Miller, Cadence Turley, Haley White, 8th graders Angela Atkins, Haley Neese, Isabel Salmons, captains Claudia Atkins, Jennifer Epplin, Summer Pennington, and the manager Riley Bradley and coach Misha Ross. They do a fantastic job.
Yes,
and go through a lot of work. We can hear them now.
They are cheering because they need to, because their Wildcats are down 6-0 here in the first quarter. Hamlin set to kick off. That's Marshall Cummings putting the foot to the ball. Short onside kick possibly, but recovered by the Wildcats. So Guyan Valley, Brian, for their first drive coming up, are going to have really, really nice field position.
Yeah, that was. I don't know if it was. It may have been a planned onside kick. Coach Shimp thinking, hey, let's get something quick here because he knows what he's got to face here. So maybe if I can get the ball back and really gain some momentum,
Sure.
he could have done that.
Okay, so Hamlin's going to have their first stint on defense. The Wildcats come out their first stint on offense. And Wildcats are Zion Blevins under center. Sends a man in motion going right to left, coming right at us. That is Hunter Jeffrey, I believe, on the sweep. And he's going to pick up a few yards for the Wildcats. So there's Hunter Jeffrey on the carry for Guyan Valley. Brings up a 2nd down and 5 for the Wildcats. Zion Blevins, quarterback, under center. Sends a man in motion. He's going to take and give to the second man through. That is number 32. That is Big John Coleman rumbling ahead for a first down. Still on his feet, but his progress was stopped, but not before he picks up a Wildcat first down.
That looked like one of them old Earl Campbell runs. Downhill, here we come, and see if you can bring me down.
I like the way Coleman runs. He runs hard, runs through the hole, follows his block, sets everything up nice. And the end result is a first down for the Wildcats. At the Bobcats, we'll call that the 36-yard line. 1st and 10. Wildcats break the huddle. Blevins this time in the shotgun, one back on his left. 2 receivers left, one split out to the right.
You can see Hamlin's definitely crowding the line of scrimmage and bringing the blitz here. They're kind of bringing everybody.
Fake to Coleman, and he's going to be wrapped up in the backfield. Maybe. No. Blevins shook it free. He's going to pick up positive yardage. 5, giving 10, maybe 8 or 9 yards on the carry, and Blevins just shook off a tackler 5 yards deep in the backfield and picked up 8 yards.
Oh, that was Kuntz that came up on that tackle, and I thought for sure I had him. Blevins did a nice job of fighting it off and keeping it alive and still picks up positive yardage. What a phenomenal play.
All right, so Blevins turned nothing into something. Got the Wildcats about 6 yards on that play, and they're inching towards the end zone. 2nd down and 4. Ball resting just outside the 30-yard line of the Bobcats. Blevins under center this time. 2 receivers split right, 1 to the left, single back behind him. Sends a man in motion. I believe that's Hunter Jeffrey. He's going to give it to the first man through. Looks like Coleman pushing ahead for some tough yards. He'll have one, maybe two, depending on the spot, and that will bring up third down for Guyan Valley.
Yeah, again, I think that's number 52. I think it was for Hamlin. Trying to see that number. It might have been 54. Nate McKay on the interior line did a nice job of stopping that out because that's a low. And right now, with well, they may get this off before the quarter.
And that will be the end of the first quarter. So, Brian, here at Pritchard Williamson Field, each team has had the ball once. Guyan Valley still with possession. Hamlin leads 6-0 here in the Battle of the Hill rivalry. So what's your take, Mr. Vance, here after one quarter of play?
Well, real quick before we do this, we got a little special treat here at the end of the first quarter as we some of these Guyan Valley cheerleaders coming out here as we decided to have an Armstrong fan of the game.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, to that
Fantastic.
fan that's supporting the youth, supporting these kids, supporting everyone that involved with this program. As you can see, them all the girls now trying to present this. Doing a little cheer while they're doing it. I told you they work hard. And I think they actually awarded this to Greg Workman, as you can see him now getting the little trophy hat here. From what I've heard from everybody, he does a fantastic job here.
Outstanding.
He's here all the time. He works with the youth. And I'm going to tell you, we appreciate people like this right here.
We
that
do.
are so involved with our youth. And this is important. I mean, they give a lot of their time up. It's all volunteer work. So congratulations, Mr. Workman, on that. It's a well-earned. Just to let people know, also, we're joined here in the booth. I think everybody knows Lonnie, don't they?
I believe so, and if they don't, they should.
They should know me. Yeah. And Lonnie, again, does a fantastic job. Again, it's the people like this that support the county, that support these kids, and it gives them a lot of hope, I guess, in the future.
Absolutely.
We're getting ready here for the start of the second quarter, and looks like we've got a penalty.
And I'm sure Mr. Lonnie has seen his share of Battle of the Hill rivalry games over the years.
Yeah, looks like we got a false start on Guyan Valley to start here the second quarter, which is not what Coach Webb. They've had a successful drive coming out here, answering the bell, you know, as they say, because here Hamlin goes down and score, and they come right back. And again, they're down now and short. Now it's 3rd and 1.
All right, so the Wildcats break the huddle. 3rd down, and we'll call that a long 7, possibly a short 8. And Blevins is under center. Takes the snap. He's going to roll to his left on a designed quarterback run. He's going to shake one tackle, shake another tackle. He's going down the sideline, folks.
It's going
just
to
can't see
be
him
real
from our
close.
vantage
Yeah, it's going to be real close to a first down there. He did a great job. I love to see the kids that throw the stiff arm. You know, I said it's almost a lost art anymore to some players right now.
We'll wait and see where the down marker goes, and they are moving those chains. So it is a first down for Blevins and the Wildcats.
And he did a good job because really, you know, Hamlin, you know, for Coach Champ, he had some players in position to come up. Blevins did a nice job of fighting off the tackles. Looks like Guyan Valley's lined up in that traditional divide backfield. 2 split to the right.
Okay,
Yeah, I
Blevins
think
is under
Blevins got a
center.
little bit of confusion. Call a timeout. Smart play out of heady play out of
Yeah.
that kid.
Probably didn't like what he saw there with that defensive lineman. Maybe somebody was in the wrong place. So Pat Webb and the Wildcats call a timeout. And Brian, with 7:46 left to go here in the first half, Wildcats are on the move. Hamlin leads it 6-0.
And again, you know, they're still got this drive going. What a nice answer to come back. And then, you know, again, you know, as I told you about the emotions of that first half.
Sure. Think the butterflies have settled down now?
They're out of the way now.
Okay.
You've got, and I'm sure Coach Webb's told them that. It's still football. You know, it's
Yeah.
just football. Play like you know how to play. If they can just keep away both teams, it seems like right now,
Sure.
keep shooting themselves in the foot with the penalties. Just a reminder, everybody, this broadcast will be shown on channels 4 and 100 at Armstrong Cable. Should be on next week. We'll have multiple viewings of this.
All right, the Wildcats come back after the timeout. Blevins under center with a first down. Sends a man in motion. Taking a little misdirection play there to Coleman. And the Bobcats were ready for that one as Coleman got very little on the play. Brings up a second down.
I can tell you a running back like that is exactly, you want to get him going east and west. You definitely do not want him going north and south.
All right, so it's a gain of 1 for Coleman. Brings up a second down and 9 for the Wildcats as they break the huddle. 2 receivers split to the left, 1 split to the right. Blevins under center, Coleman single back behind him. Blevins going to take and give it to Coleman straight up the gut. Coleman shakes the tackle, shakes 2, shakes 3, flag on the play. And he is in the end zone for a Wildcat touchdown, but we'll have to wait and see what happened on the penalty.
More laundry on the field, as they say.
Because that came from behind the play. So I'm not sure what the referees saw there.
Usually when you see one like that,
Waiting
it's probably
for
a
the
hold.
initial signal. Touchdown is good, he says.
No.
Personal foul face mask against the Bobcats.
Yeah, that's when I didn't really see the face mask, but
Right.
from our vantage point of view, it was tough to see. But
So-
I'll tell you, what a well-designed play. If you see what they did here, they were strong left, but they brought the run back to the right side of the field. And really, you get Hamlin going on that little fake jet sweep and hand off to Coleman off tackle. What a well-designed play. I give Coach Webb a lot of credit for that one.
So Coleman rumbles in from around 28 yards away for the score. Now we're waiting on the 2-point conversion. Let's see if the Wildcats can take the lead after tying it up on Coleman's touchdown run. Blevins under center. He's going to move a man in motion. And they're going to punch in the 2-point run. Nice play there by the Wildcats as they take an 8-6 lead with 6:52 to go here in the first half.
How big is that? That is a huge play. People see that 2 points and think, well, it's just a 2-point conversion. That could be the difference in this ball game, what these two teams are
You
playing
didn't
right
have
now.
to get a number on the 2-point conversion run there, did you, Brian?
I did not. The way it looked, I think that was.
Could that have been Coleman again?
I think it was Dylan Holly. It looked like they were a bunch
Dylan
of folks
Holly,
were
okay.
high-fiving. I think Dylan Holly did a good job. Went off tackle, lowered his head, carried a few people in. That's what you want to see.
All right, Brian, we've had 2 drives. We've had 2 scores. And a lot of offense here in the first half. Some great defensive plays also. And now due to the penalty, Guyan Valley will be kicking off from the 50.
And this right now, both coaches got to kind of be going. They're pretty happy where they're at, and both are saying the same thing. If we just knock out the crazy penalties, quit shooting ourselves in the foot, we could probably see a lot of success. I'll be anxious to see what kind of adjustments both coaches make on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay. All right, so Guyan Valley has it teed up. They answered Hamlin's touchdown with one of their own as Coleman rumbled in from 28 yards out, and Dylan Holly punched in the 2-point conversion. Wildcats lead at 8-6, and they kick off to the Bobcats. Takes a hop, and it looks like Kuntz has the football on the return. And he's going to be brought down quickly.
That was number 21, Jordan Gregory. Did a nice job of getting on the field, breaking down too, because I can tell you Kuntz is one of those elusive backs that you can miss real easy. So it's a good job to break down and make that open field tackle.
So the Bobcats will set up shop here for their second drive of the game. 1st and 10, looks like it's going to be right at the 20-yard line, maybe just outside the 20, call it the 19.
And we've told people especially at the middle school level, pinning back that deep is huge because it's 80 yards probably they're going to have to go, and for them to run this 80 yards, probably 10, 12 play drive unless they get something big makes it very difficult on these young kids.
All right, Hamlin breaks the huddle, 1st and 10 from the 20. 6:45 to go here in the first half. Bobcats trail 8-6. Sweep to the left. Pick up positive yardage for Hamlin. A few yards on the play before he is swarmed over by a host of Wildcat defenders.
I did see Big 79 on the sides getting up over there, and we got an injured player in the field. Can't see who that is. I hate to see this. As you can see, you know, just below you folks, you see everybody takes a knee. That's fantastic to show that much class. Because no one wants to see it. Yeah, I guarantee you Guyan Valley doesn't want to see this. As we was talking to the principals earlier, you know, you have a great game like this, but you realize that next year, some of these kids are going to be playing together.
That's exactly right.
You know, and if any of you folks have seen, Lincoln County's having a really successful season this year.
Having a great season, sitting at 7-2 right now, hosting Buffalo tomorrow night. And for all of you listening on this tape delay, that would be Friday, October 26th. They will host the Buffalo Bison with a chance to go to 7-2 and possibly close out the following week with Tug Valley at home for senior night with 8-2, and that would be monumental for the high school.
And if everything works out right, we're going to see if Armstrong and maybe you and I could join that broadcast and film that game so you folks can see it on tape delay to see maybe the end of the most successful season that Lincoln County High School's ever had.
That would be great for me. I mean, 13 years in the making. You know, they consolidated and opened the doors in 2006, and you know the most games they've ever won in one season was 4, and they only did that on 3 different occasions. So you know, to be 6-2 right now, it's huge, and it's really invigorated the school. You know, being privileged enough to be employed by the Board of Education, I've worked there for the last 9 years, and it's just, you know, the atmosphere is just so much better. I mean, the kids are upbeat, the morale is great. You know, everybody's looking forward to football Friday night. You know, that's all they can talk about.
And what we've always talked about is these kids out here, they see that too.
Absolutely.
They go over, and so they want to work harder to be a part of that, and that's how your program starts to build.
Absolutely. You have to generate interest. You have to get kids excited to come out and want to play and be a part of that. And it's working. It's working. This year it's definitely working. I mean, Lincoln County has some solid players on both sides of the football. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow night against Buffalo and next week against Tug Valley.
And the good thing I've noticed, we watch them play, it's the same thing as kids coming up now. It's a lot of young talent, too.
It is. It's a lot of young talent. Nice blend.
The future looks really bright. And you see these kids here that will be playing next year, just keep building right into it. Next thing you know, you've got a solid program.
All right, so it looks like the injured fellow from Hamlin is walking off under his own power, so that's a great sign there.
I think that might be Coombs. That'll be a big blow to Hamlin.
Yeah, one of Hamlin's major weapons going out, and maybe he just got shook up on the play too. He could return. We'll have to wait and see how that develops.
Yeah, he's walking under his own power, so that's a good thing to see.
Okay, so we've got 6:29 remaining here in the second quarter. Guyan Valley leading Hamlin 8-6 in the Battle of the Hill rivalry. And Brian, we had a privilege before the game started to speak to the principals, and I'll tell you what, that is the most professional rivalry I think I've seen.
Oh, it was,
and for a house divided.
They were wonderful, you know. And again, we said it at the beginning of the broadcast, and I can tell you, folks, from one that's been to both schools, they're doing a fantastic job.
They are. They really are. They really are. I mean, again, the county's been invigorated with this atmosphere and this energy, and the community pulls together. You pull together, you help out. You don't see Hamlin and Guyan Valley. You see Lincoln County kids together.
Well, I can tell you, it was a couple weeks ago. You folks may have seen it on Armstrong Cable. We filmed the game with a crew that came down from Valley Fayette. We played them, and they've been all over the state doing a lot of games because he said they're in 27 counties and they try to do a game of the week.
Yes.
And all 3 of the guys that was there told me that the game they saw against Valley Fayette was the best atmosphere they'd seen all year long. And I was like, I mean, these guys are doing a lot bigger schools.
Oh, yeah.
And to say that was a great tribute to this county of how many people come out and support these kids.
Yeah, they had nothing but praise for Lincoln County and the way everything transpired that night. And, it also ended up into a nice Lincoln County win, which is always nice. All right, so we are back to action here at Pritchard Williamson Field. 6:29 to go in the second quarter. Hamlin with a second down. There's a pass from Starcher to looking for that gentleman's number. Give me just a moment, kids. That may have been Xander Tidd.
I think that was number 86.
Big tight end for the Bobcats, hauling that one in and giving the Bobcats a nice chunk of yardage and a first down. Bobcats on the move again, Brian.
Xander's he's a big kid, and you can see he moves pretty well. And he's really developed his skills and his ball catching skills. And he said, this is something that I'm going to continue to work on. And that kid has a future too as well.
Yes, he
keeps
does.
Working at it.
Yes, he most certainly does. So 1st and 10, Hamlin. on the move here against their county rivals, the Guyan Valley Wildcats. They trail by 2, 8-6. Bobcats break the huddle and come up to the line of scrimmage. Starcher under center. 2 backs behind him. Snappy gives to the second man through. Coming over the right side off tackle. Picks up positive yardage, maybe around 5 yards on that carry.
He gets Spinagle with a nice
maybe
run.
Logan Spinagle again, and I see Thomas Seitz in there on the tackle.
I tell you what, that was a nice quick hit of a hole there. And he got, when you get through that hole right there, he just lowered his head and got to get out of it. That was a nice little play for him. As you can see, because with Guyan Valley, you can see their biggest strength is they're big up front. So you want to try to get these big guys moving a little bit.
Sure. Try to get him out of position, maybe get one past him. 2nd down and 5 for Hamlin. Thinks he's going to give it to Spinagle again. Off tackle right, and Spinagle's going to find another nice chunk of yardage, and that brings the Bobcats up to midfield. And, Brian, that's going to be enough for another Hamlin Bobcat first down.
Again, another nice setup run because you can see what they're doing. You got Seitz trying to let him go out of the outside, and they're crashing down on the guard, the defensive guard. And you can see that's number 76 and another. You don't want to take that kid, number 76, Josh Workman, one-on-one. So you try to get an angle.
Sure.
So they did a good job.
Okay, 1st and 10, Bobcats at midfield. 4:57 to go on a rolling clock here in the second quarter. Bobcats down by 2. Starcher takes and gives to Spinagle. A little slow developing play that time as the Guyan Valley defense rose up and stuffed him right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I saw that time they were trying to double team big Seitz, and this time instead of going outside, he kind of just held his ground. Running back ran right into him.
Okay, so no gain on the play for Spinagle. Brings up 2nd down and around 10 for Hamlin.
And I would say with some of the success you're seeing running, don't be surprised if you don't see that little quick hit to tee it again.
Okay.
Because, if they're continue to run the ball like that, you're in that little play action because the linebacker's going to have to start respecting that and come up.
Okay. Let's see what the Bobcats do as they break the huddle.
Nice play.
It was a very nice play. Spinagle through the hole. Seitz followed him down the line of scrimmage and met him right in the hole, Brian. That's going to be little or no gain on that one as well.
And I'm impressed with how well the big guys for Guyan Valley move up front. I mean,
quick feet.
Usually you get big guys like that, especially at this age, and they're slow to get off. These guys aren't. You got Seitz and Workman up there up front, and then don't forget big number 70. That's Noah Atkins. They move really well for their size.
Yes, the defensive line for the Guyan Valley Wildcats trying to make their presence felt. 3rd down and around 8 for Hamlin. 2 receivers split to the right. That's going to be a false start on the Bobcats, I believe. Fullback started a little bit early, and that's going to back him up 5 and make it a 3rd and long.
Yeah, I think what you can see Hamlin trying to do here is let's go ahead and spread them out a little bit because you've got Coleman at linebacker, and if you take him out here in the flats, you're kind of taking a big run stopper out of the defense. So it's a smart strategy, but again, when you jump off sides, shoot you in the foot.
So hopefully this is one of those, we'll try to spread you out and find a crease to alleviate that size, because I'll tell you what, Guyan Valley's defensive line, Brian, is impressive.
Yes, it is. Right now, if I'm Hamlin on 3rd and long in this situation, I'm here looking for the screen or maybe that little quick hit to tee it again.
All right, Starcher back in the gun. He's going to drop straight back, looking for the slant, and it's going to be knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and long for Hamlin.
Again, I think they were trying to set up something on the screen there, and the pressure, again, these guys up front are quick, and they just got in there. And it's tough on a quarterback when you're sitting there seeing these big guys towering down on you, and they go, "You want me to hold this how long?" Yeah, coach, I'm getting out of my hands.
Yeah, and again, too, with an undersized quarterback and a defensive line that's taller like that, it's hard to see those passing lanes and those windows to get the ball into.
Exactly right.
So it's going to be 4th down for the Bobcats and around 13 to go for the 1st down. Could be a punting situation here for Hamlin. Let's wait and see what they do here as they're hovering around the 40-yard line. And it is going to be a punt. End over end kick. Nice roll for Hamlin. And it's going to be taken by Blevins. Blevins stops. Spins out of 1. Spins out of 2. And here comes Blevins back up the far sideline. Blevins with him. Blevins has room. Blevins has a convoy. Blevins going down the sideline. 10-5. And that's going to be a Guyan Valley touchdown. But hang on just a minute, folks. Is that a flag I see laying around the 30-yard line? Or is that just a strange piece of dirt there on the field?
I think that may be a strange piece of dirt, it looks like, because I think they're going to count the touchdown. I don't see anything signaled from the referee. So, yeah, I think that's just something on the field there. And what a
So Blevins reverses his field around the 27-yard line and brings it all the way to the house.
And I'll be honest with you, I was getting ready to comment, the one thing you don't want to do when you're returning the punt is to stop. And he does a great job of a little spin move, shed another tackle, and the wall was set up for him. It was a fantastic run.
really nice return. All right.
Yeah, I think
okay. So I did see a flag. Okay, I'm not losing my mind. That's good. Well, normally when you reverse field and you get those peel black blocks,
yeah, you do.
Sometimes you get the block in the back on that. All right, so the Wildcats going for 2. Touchdown stands for Blevins on the beautiful punt return. And he is in for 2. Not sure who that was.
A little cross-buck action that came on there, and I will be honest with you, with all the movement they had back there from the quarterback, did a great job of ball work, as they say, of kind of disguising that one. I wasn't for sure who had the ball.
Well, the Guyan Valley has struck again, this time on the special teams, as Blevins reverses his field around the 27-yard line. Turns, takes it up the near sideline towards us all the way for a touchdown. And then they punch in the 2-point conversion. And with 2:24 left to go until halftime, it's Guyan Valley 16 and Hamlin 6.
And that is a huge play.
Yeah, that's a big one. That is. That's a big play.
And if you look, because at that point, it goes back to that one penalty that backs Hamlin up, put him in that long yardage situation. They couldn't convert and have to punt. And then, like I said, it was Mr. Blevins showing a little bit of fancy footwork. The one thing I'm impressed with Guyan Valley is all the running backs. All their backs, they run, you said angry.
They do. They run angry, yeah.
And by meaning that, I'm not saying that they're mad at anybody. What I'm saying is they don't like to get tackled.
No, they do not. And Blevins is very it's almost like he feels them coming up on him, and he knows when to turn it on and maybe spin out of a tackle or try to use, like you said earlier, use the stiff arm to try to keep the play alive.
Yeah, and I've told people before, that's a skill you can't teach.
Yeah, that's an innate.
Like you said, last year I used to tell them they had Nolan Shemp and Luke Agans for Hamlin, had that same ability to just feel their way. And that's what Blevins has.
So Guyan Valley set to kick off. It's a short kick, rolling. It's going to go out of bounds. So that will be a procedure penalty against the kickoff team. And Hamlin will have the ball 1st and 10.
I'll tell you what, that was close.
That was very close. I didn't know if anybody was going to get on that before it rolled out or not. I was kind of leaning over to make sure it was going out.
And I can tell you, Coach Webb, he was over there screaming and yelling to get the ball, and both teams are so fortunate right now to have Coach Webb and Coach Shemp. I mean, these two guys are, I can tell you, folks, phenomenal individuals and phenomenal coaches. I mean, they do, and they love the kids.
They've been fixtures in the county, too, for a while at both of these programs.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're fortunate, again, to have coaches like that want to volunteer a lot of their time. Everybody said, well, they're paid coaches. Well, folks, let me tell you, they're not making enough to do it.
That's exactly right.
They have to love the game and love the kids.
So it was a procedure penalty on the kickoff. So Hamlin has really nice field position here to try to answer the Guyan Valley punt return for a touchdown by Zion Blevins. 1st and 10 Bobcats. 2 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers split to the right. Take and gives to the second man through. I believe that's Spinagle again carrying the load. And he's going to pick up 2, maybe 3 yards on that one. Brian going off tackle over to the left side, maybe trying to run away from sights.
Oh, exactly. That's a good, smart move. And it was a good, hard run. There was a nice little hole there. But again, Guyan Valley's linebackers came over quickly, broke down, and made a tackle. People think that's it's really a skill that you have to have. You have to learn to be able to break down and make that tackle.
So Spinagle picks up around 5 yards on the play, 2nd down and 5. Hamlin takes and gives to Spagnogle again, and there is Mr. Seitz lurking in the backfield, and he slings him to the ground for a loss of around 4.
I think that's called announcing your presence with authority. Man, that was impressive.
It was
And
a nice play.
It wasn't, to me, I'm telling you, folks, from a kid this size, that's quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
he's
quick
blasting
feet, good
through.
feet.
Man, I sure hope that kid's in the weight room because he is going to be a beast on the next level.
And if he's not an 8th grader, if he's just a 7th grader, Brian, the scary thing is he may still be growing.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Very impressed with that young man.
So when he comes to the high school in the next year or two, I'll have to look up to him when I say hello.
Yes, you will.
We've got a flag on the play. Is it possibly a delay? Let's see. Saw the flag come out, waiting on the referees. Okay, let's see. Looks like Hamlin's back on 5, dead ball. Delay of game, okay. So the Bobcats took a little too much time there in the huddle, and that's going to back them up 5.
Well, to be honest with you, I think with 51.4 seconds, right now, I think Coach Shemp's just trying to, let's get in the half. Let's not let any more damage go by.
Sure. Still got a whole 2 more quarters to go.
Oh, we got a personal foul.
That's an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Bobcats. That may have came from the sideline, maybe?
I think that one did. I think Coach Shemp got a little animated on that one.
Okay. So that's 15 more. And it's going to be a 3rd down and a very long now for the Bobcats.
And with Kuntz out of the game, that big play capability that he has right now,
Right.
I would look for Coach Shemp to run something very safe here.
Sure. All right, so we're under 45 seconds to go here in the first half. 3rd down and long for Hamlin as they break the huddle. Starcher, the quarterback, is under center. We'll give the second man through. Again, there you go, Brian. A nice little off-tackle play to Spagnogle. And I believe Guyan Valley is going to call a timeout.
Very smart of Coach Webb. You still got these timeouts left. You just returned a punt. You're going to make them punt that ball.
Well, it's like my dad used to say when he coached, you can't take the timeouts home. You don't get to carry them over to the next game. So, if you have a chance, use them. Absolutely. Stop the clock and try to get a quick score again. So while we do have a timeout here with 31.4 left here at Pritchard Williamson Field in Pleasant View, Brian, let's tell all our viewers while we have a chance, if they're hearing our voices and seeing these images of the Battle of the Hill rivalry game, that they are an Armstrong customer watching us on channel 4 and 100 on their dial. And if they're not an Armstrong customer, they're just missing out on the best middle school football broadcast ever.
I have to be in total agreement with that. Really, you've heard of some of the greats, of the game, and I know we look up to some of the great broadcasters that's passed down, but I have to say, Ron, I think we've taken it to a different level.
Well, we do. It's not the R&B show without the R and the B. So, it's just a broadcast.
Please notice the sarcasm there, folks. But we do enjoy bringing this to all the viewers that get to see this, and we appreciate all the customers at Armstrong that
we do.
That again, they make our business, and we like to be just say thank you to be a partner in the community.
Absolutely. Showcase our kids here from the county across our Armstrong family of networks. And these pictures could not have been brought to you, folks, without the wonderful lens of Mr. Doug.
The legend, really.
The myth.
The legend.
The legend, the myth that is Doug behind the camera.
And we do appreciate all the hard work, guys, that he does put in to bring this as we get up here and see what Guyan Valley can pull off here with 28 seconds to go.
All right. And they've got it on the other side of the 52, Brian, as Blevins takes it to shotgun snap. He's looking deep, and he's got a man. Hunter Jeffrey, in and out of the hands of Jeffrey. And that could have been damaging for the Hamlin defense, but luckily it came up just a little short.
I can say this, and that is there was a blown coverage from the Hamlin secondary, and the kid's wide open, and I know Blevins back at quarterback, and when you're quarterback and you see that, you're like, oh, He's so wide open, you know. And to the kids thinking, there's nobody on me. And believe it or not, folks, that is actually tough to do.
Very
and that
tough.
ball comes at you and thinking, just don't drop this.
So it was in and out of the hands of Jeffrey, so the Wildcats face a 2nd down and 10 from around the Hamlin 45-yard line. 22.6 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Blevins takes the shotgun snap, and he's going to scramble. He's going to scramble back up to around the line of scrimmage, and then he's going to be brought down by a host of Bobcats. And it looks like Pat Webb's going to take another timeout for the Wildcats and try to preserve some more time and try to get another scoring drive here.
The timing of that play was just thrown off, I think, from the snap. So Blevins was like, rather than make a mistake here, let's just do something. Let's get up here so I can get a little bit of positive yardage, knowing I still got 2 more downs.
Right.
So that's a smart play. I mean, this Blevins kid's a heady kid. You can tell that. As some of the coaches just say, he has that football sense.
Football IQ.
Football IQ,
Football
exactly
IQ, yeah.
right.
Yeah, he's got a very good head on his shoulders, taking command of this offense. As assistant coach Greg Lambert's in there talking to the offense of Guyan Valley. And Hamlin huddled over on their side. 18.1 left to go. Brian, so far the rivalry has lived up to all the hype.
It has been its billing. I mean, this has been a back and forth action. You think about it, Hamlin opens up with this big, long drive, sustaining drive,
Sure
and you
did.
think, man, they got a lot of momentum. Guyan Valley does what they're supposed to do. You answer right back. And then when Hamlin had their second drive and then again a big loss of Kuntz really hurt them. And then the explosive punt play.
Yeah.
It really changed the game.
Okay, so Blevins is in the shotgun, 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right, and the running back on his right hip. Takes the shotgun snap and he drops. He's going to swing it out. And I believe that's Coleman on the loose. And he's going to be wrapped up there just beyond the line of scrimmage. He's going to pick up 3, maybe 4 yards on the little pass play as the clock continues to run. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that's going to be all she wrote here for the first half. So from Pritchard Williamson Field in Pleasant View, it's the Battle of the Hill. And so far it's the home team, the Guyan Valley Wildcats, leading by 10, 16-6 at halftime. So Brian, what are your thoughts here in the first half?
Well, like I said earlier, Guyan Valley had answered the bell. After that first quarter, you thought maybe some momentum, for as Hamlin, really felt positive about themselves. But Guyan Valley did exactly what they should do, was answer back. It's going to be interesting to see in the second half. For Guyan Valley, you kind of want to see continue what you're doing, but on defense, if Kuntz is done for the evening, then Hamlin's offense will have to change a little bit. And
Right.
Guyan Valley knows this, so they have to make some adjustments.
Right.
Now, for Guyan Valley on the offensive side of the ball, I think you're going to have to continue to still trying to pound it up the middle.
Sure.
But you're going to have to get a little bit on the outside because Coach Shim's going to definitely make some adjustments.
Sure. And I think, too, Guyan Valley, with the 10-point lead here, status quo, let's keep doing what we're doing. We'll keep the ball in our playmakers' hands, Blevins, Jeffrey, and Coleman, and maintain this lead and, take out the W and end the season, here in the big rivalry game.
Yeah, and, like I said, that's what Guyan Valley went status quo. For Hamlin, you got to try to build on the momentum.
Right.
I mean, you say, hey, we're not done yet. It's just a 10-point game.
That's true. That's true.
Definitely nothing.
So, folks, here we are at halftime, and from Pritchard Williamson Field, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll bring you the second half action here on the Armstrong Family Networks right after this.
And folks, we're back for the second half here of the Battle of the Hill, and Hamlin kicking off here as Guyan Valley deferred.
All right, here we go. The pleasantries have been exchanged. Ding, ding, touch gloves. It's time for round 2. Short kickoff by the Bobcats, fielded by the Wildcats.
Yeah, it was a nice job, number 21, Jordan Gregory. Get on it, get down.
Yep, did what he was supposed to do. Now the Wildcats will take over 1st and 10 from just outside midfield. Brown, this is a crucial drive for both teams, and I may say this, and you can feel free to disagree. If the Wildcats take one in and punch one in, that's going to be greatly in their favor. But if Hamlin can stem the tide here, force a punt, get the ball back, and maybe get some momentum on their side, this could be a very interesting second half.
Yeah, this drive is crucial. Like I said, like you said, for Hamlin, if they can stop this and gain some momentum back, but if Guyan Valley punches us in, the way they're playing, this could be too much to overcome.
All right, Blevins under center takes, and he gives to the second man through, and the Bobcats were ready. And there's those defensive adjustments at halftime you were talking about, Brian. Bobcats were ready for that cross action there in the backfield from Coleman and the Wildcats.
Yeah, Spinago, and I think that's McKay that came through the line right there and did a great job of penetrating through, make a couple missed blocks, and they just stuffed it deep, and that's what you need to do. Right now you got to get that Coleman before he gets going.
Sure. All right, so no gain on the play brings up second down and 10 from their own 44-yard line. 7:27 to go here in the third quarter. Guyan Valley leads it 16-6, and they have the football. Blevins under center. He's going to take it. It's going to be a quarterback sneak, and there is nobody in the middle of the field as Blevins breaks free. Blevins is gone. 10-5 to the house for the Wildcats. Brian, huge play from Blevins. They saw a chink in the Bobcats defense. There nobody in the middle of the field, and it parted like the Red Sea, and Blevins is in for six.
You know, I'm not for sure if that was a called play or an audible, but if it either way, when Blevins got to the line of scrimmage, he saw that there was no one there. You could see what Hamlin was going to try to do. They were trying to come off the outside, stop this off-tackle play. And like you said, he shot through, and once he got to the second level, it was done.
All right, so Guyan Valley puts another one in very quickly from 56 yards away. And they're going for two as Blevins lines up under center. He's going to take and roll to his right under heavy pressure, fire back to his left, and the pass is incomplete. Looked like it was intended for, can't see that gentleman's jersey there.
But I can tell you that was all blown up really. They did a nice job of getting pressure, which caused him to force him to throw that a little quicker than he wanted to. I think that play was going to develop, but the initial pressure forced him, and you could see Blevins as soon as he saw it coming. But, you know, again, I'm impressed with the kid not panicking.
Right.
You know, he kept his feet, glided over. We were talking to Mr. Lonnie over here, and like he said, he's very much true. Blevins kind of glides, you know, more than he runs. It's got that flow to it.
It's very smooth. It's almost like leave you.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it doesn't look like he's running very hard, but it's just like Lonnie said, he strides. He leaves you.
Yeah, he's one of those guys you're like, well, kick it in, but you notice no one's catching him.
No, it's kicked in.
It's kicked in because he just glides.
It's just a wonderful thing to watch. So on the 56-yard, this is something you don't see every day. 56-yard quarterback sneak.
Yeah, you don't say.
Blevins takes it to the house. The two-point conversion pass failed, fell incomplete, but the Wildcats now, Brian, have a little bit of breathing room here in the rivalry game, 22-6.
And again, as crucial as that drive was, this one is, I mean, I think Hamlin has to put some points on the board here, or this one could get out of control.
So there's the short kick, and it is fielded by the Bobcats. Nice heads-up play there. I believe that's number 62, Brian, for Hamlin.
Yeah, we're trying to find that. Oh, there it is, Anthony Lunsford.
Okay, Anthony Lunsford there on the return.
Hey, you know, big linemen don't get to touch the ball very often, so you got to take advantage when you can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Hamlin will have a 1st and 10 from just outside midfield. We'll call that the 40, we'll call that around the 43, 44-yard line. And there's a flag on the play for the players. Oh, it looks like Guyan Valley had too many men on the field. That's an illegal participation. So that'll give the Hamlin Bobcats a free 5 yards, and it'll be 1st and 5 instead of 1st and 10 for the Cats. 7:04 to go here in the third quarter. Guyan Valley leading it 22-6 after the brilliant run by Zion Blevins. Give it to the first man through. I believe that was Spinagle, and he is tackled in the backfield by big number 79. There's Thomas Seitz again.
And, you know, I'm going to tell you, folks, if you get a chance to see this, I think we got a kid down here. Not for sure who that is, but, you know, I watched some of the Hamlin offensive linemen there, and they tried to do what you could do is to cut the big man.
Sure.
And I am so impressed with how he put his hands down, kind of jumped the defender. And at this age, folks, that is so tough to do, to learn that technique. So,
right.
Again, this kid, if he can work at it, I've talked to some of his relatives and some of the fans down here at halftime, and you know how impressed I was with that kid. And they were saying, you know, if he just continues to fire off the ball, I said, yeah, it's one thing that he needs to stay aggressive. When he does, man, he is a load to handle.
So we are awaiting the injury to be diagnosed there and taken care of. Looks like one of the Bobcats down there on the field.
Yeah, to give you an update, I got to talk to some of the assistant coaches of Hamlin for the Coons boys. Said I think he just got rolled up on. And, you know, I don't think they heard anything pop, but we're definitely going to be precautionary as It's nice to see. I think that's Spinagle. Again, that was a running back who just took that big hit from the Sites kid.
Brian, while we have a moment here, I just got a text from my mother who is watching the beloved Mountaineers in Morgantown tonight, and they are leading the Baylor Bears in the first quarter 13-0.
That's a good start. I was trying to pull that score up here. I'm glad you got that text.
You would be pleased.
After the debacle that was Iowa State.
Wow. That was
We just won't talk about that one.
Enough said. One of my favorite comments I use in my column in the Journal. Enough said.
Well, as I told some friends of mine that are Ohio State fans, I said, thank you. So it's not just us that can blow one, it's you all that can blow one too.
How'd that work out at Purdue last weekend? So the Bobcats have 2nd down and 8, and they're going to force it through there. Nice positive yardage play by the Bobcats on the run. Not sure who that was on the run there, Brian. I can't see that gentleman's number.
I think that might have been the Tid, Xander Tid.
Okay, could have been 86.
Yeah.
Okay, Xander Tid in the backfield now, moved from his tight end spot into the backfield and picks up about 4 yards on the play. Brings up 3rd down, and we'll call it 5 for Hamlin with 6:08 to go here on the rolling clock in the 3rd quarter. Wildcats lead Hamlin 22-6 in the Battle of the Hill rivalry. Big 3rd down conversion upcoming here for Hamlin. Starcher under center. Takes, gives to the second man through there.
And, he's going to pick up a couple here. He did a pretty good job, but you can see, I'll give the lineman credit. They did a pretty good job that time on Sites, but he just kind of rips that big paw out while being blocked.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. So it's a gain of about 2 on the run, which brings up a 4th down and 3 for Hamlin. Big down coming up here for the Bobcats as they get their play and bring it into the huddle there. Guyan Valley defense awaits. Bobcats here at the line of scrimmage.
So what's your call on this 4th down?
What is the call here on 4th and 3? Power football.
I'm running away from 79.
Running away from 79. I'm going left off tackle here with a lead block.
Nice call.
And the Wildcats also probably, I think they guessed right also. I think he's going to come up just a little bit short on the run there, Brian.
Yeah, they did a good job of these guys. You're definitely trying to keep it away from the Sites guy and try to make him move, even though he was actually in on that tackle. But that initial stop made Manoah Aggins look, seemed like number 70 was in there, and he held his ground. And unfortunately, they always say no matter how good a running back you are, you got to have them guys up front. Those big hogs up front have to do it.
Got to have the big hog mollies up front to open the holes up for you. And he picked up a yard on the play, but he came up about 2 yards short of the 1st down. So the Wildcats will take over as the Bobcats turn it over on downs at midfield. 5:01 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Wildcats leading 22-6 and looking to put more points up on the scoreboard here at Pritchard Williamson Field. Blevins back in the shotgun, running back on his right hip. 2 running backs in front of him split out, and a wide receiver split far to the left. Blevins barks out the cadence, and he's going to drop the throw, and he's going to elude 2 Bobcat defenders. He's going to stop and throw a pass, and it's going to come up short. Intended for number 81, I believe. That's Aaron Adkins out there. And it came up a little bit short. Blevins had the right idea, though. He saw Adkins break open, so he put the brakes on and tried to fire it downfield, and it came up just a little bit short.
You know, I'll be honest with you, when the play first snapped, I thought, oh, this is a big loss. But again, kind of that deceptive speed that he has. He just kind of pulled away a little bit.
All right, so 2nd down and 10 for Guyan Valley, wearing the all blue with the gold helmets tonight. Blevins under center. 2 running backs behind him. 1 split out, 1 coming in motion. And he gives to the man in motion, who has a hole and has a crease. That's number 14.
Ethan Jeffrey.
Ethan Jeffrey. And he's going to get positive yardage up over the 50 down to around the 45-yard line. It's going to be close to a Wildcat 1st down.
Yeah, that little jet sweep's a nice play. They've been faking that all night long and then hitting this quick hitter. And this time they decided to give it to the kid. And you know what? He's got some jets on him. He got a little bit of wheels on him.
So it brings up a 3rd down and 2. Very manageable. And you've got the variety of your playbook here, Brian, at 3rd and 2 that you can, this is definitely 2-down territory.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And right now, like you said, if you're Hammond, you don't know what they're going to do. They can run inside, outside. Looks like they're going with a little bit of an unbalanced line here, it looked like. Ooh.
And Coleman has a hole. Coleman's going right up the field, north-south. He's running, and he's finally brought down inside the 20-yard line. Nice bit of running by the power back there, John Coleman.
And, you know, I'm going to have to give some props to them guys up front. You could have drove a truck through that hole.
Yeah, the way that opened up, that was a really, really nice-looking play there. Coleman really didn't have to make a move until he was into the second level.
And it was really funny. I saw him kind of do a little two-step there. I think he was almost kind of surprised, like, well, what do I do now? Wait a minute. There's nobody here.
All right, so the Wildcats have a big first down around the 15-yard line. 3:49 to go here on the rolling clock. Wildcats lead at 22-6, and they are looking for more. Blevins under center takes and gives it on the jet sweep. That is Hunter Jeffrey sweeping around the right end, and he's going to be brought down after a nice gain. And Brian, Guyan Valley's on the move, and they are inside the red zone.
Yeah, that little jet sweep, you run to this side to the opposite side, and those little, what we call them little scat backs, kind of like.
Sure.
You know, they're not the most high running backs, but they're so quick and they're hard to actually see.
That's exactly right. And if they get out around the end, and as you like to say, when if you can turn the corner, that's trouble that puts a lot of pressure on your defense, especially on the sideline.
And you can see both these two little guys are shifty. The little shifty guys, and hate to tackle those in open field.
Well, it's a nice compliment. I mean, you've got the big power back in Coleman. You've got the two halfbacks there in the Jeffrey boys, and then you've got smooth under center Blevins. So we'll take, and this is a reverse for the Wildcats. He's got some room. He picks up a block around the 5-yard line, and he's going to go down in. Is he in? Touchdown, Guyan Valley. I think, wait just a second. Let's see. Let's see. Did he get in? No, he did not. He did not, folks. I said that prematurely. I believe he's around the 1-yard line, though. Brian, that was a nice piece of running.
Well, that shiftiness right on cue, because, again, Hamlin had a player there, but he throws the leg out, brings it back. I mean, it's just tough to catch a little back like that.
Okay, so it is a first and goal for the Wildcats. We'll call it the 1-yard line. They are knocking on the door to put another score in as Blevins lines up under center, sends a man in motion. He's going to take and give to the motion man. That's number 14. I believe that's Ethan Jeffrey, who is in for the Guyan Valley touchdown.
Again, you can see what the coach did right there. Let's continue this jet sweep. He got us down here. Let's give him a little love. I love when coaches do that. When you get the running back that brought you there, go ahead and say, let's let you score the 6.
That's exactly right. All right, so we're going to line up for 2 as Guyan Valley pushes their lead to 28-6.
A little bit of a divide backfield.
Okay. Blevins is going to roll to his right. Looking, avoids a tackler. He's not going to avoid the second one, though, as he's brought down in the backfield for a sack on the 2-point conversion play, so that will not count. But the Guyan Valley Wildcats do even more damage, Brian, and they have their lead 28-6. And, Brian, the Guyan Valley Wildcats are definitely flexing their muscles. Defensive line playing well. Looks like they're playing well in all facets, offense, defense, and special teams right now. And Hamlin is still reeling from the injury loss to Kuntz and the punt return by Blevins.
And I'll tell you, the one thing I'm kind of curious of here, because I haven't had the pleasure to see Guyan Valley play all year, but they're 3-3. I'm wondering what the 3 teams beat them, because they're looking really impressive right now.
So there's the kickoff. Nice deep end-over-end kick. It's fielded by the Wildcats. And he's coming up the left sideline. Nice return here by Hamlin.
Nice little run.
He's knocked out of bounds over midfield. Great return there by Hamlin.
Yeah, that was Braden Starcher, the quarterback on that play, so he did a nice job.
So Starcher on the return, and he sets up Hamlin's offense for this series on the Wildcat side of the 50 at around the 45-yard line. First and 10 Hamlin. They trail at 28-6, so the Bobcats need to get something going here, Brian, and maybe in a hurry.
And, I will say this, and Guyan Valley, I guarantee Coach Webb's on this. This is still the battle of the hill. They're not giving up. Hamlin's not going to give up in a game like this.
So here we are in the regular season finale for both these middle schools, and there wouldn't be any better than a nice big rivalry game. Hamlin takes and gives to the first man through. Not sure who that was, Brian. If you can get a number for me there.
I think that might have been Ted again, number 86.
Okay.
Coming at the fullback position, they hit that quick hitter up the middle, and that's, another nice run by Ted.
So Xander Tidd rips off about 15, almost 20 yards on the carry. Pat Webb seen enough. He's going to call a timeout and get his defense lined out there, Brian.
And that's what you love. I mean, you love to see coaches always coaching. Sometimes you see 28-6, we can, let up a little bit. No, whoever's in the game, you need to perform.
Oh, absolutely. This is a learning moment. This is a teaching moment, and this is for, down the road even.
Exactly. I've told people before, if you've watched the Alabama game and everyone knows you've seen they're just dominating everybody, but if you put the camera on Coach Saban the whole game, you would never know if they're winning or losing because he's coaching the whole game.
Yeah. And, to have a team of that caliber and, and I love his approach that he's never satisfied. You can always get better. And again, I see a lot of that in Pat Webb and Coach Ship on the other side there for Hamlin. You can always get better.
Every day. That old coaching philosophy, so you try to learn something new to improve every single day. It is true. And you play hard every play. I told people, quit scoreboard watching and just play hard. Do your job, and the score will take care of itself.
So Hamlin with the first and 10 after a nice bit of running by Xander Tidd. As Starcher comes under center. He's going to take and give to the first man through again, the fullback.
And I think that was Ted again that time.
So Ted is just chipping away here, moving the ball down the field. And he's going to pick up around 3 yards, maybe 4 on the play. Bring up second down, we'll call that 7.
As you see what Coach Shemp's done, he's found something that's working here. So guess what? Make them stop it. Let's keep going until they stop it. We all used to say the other story. Blaine Wilkerson used to say it all the time. I'll run it 100 times until they stop it.
So Starcher from the shotgun is taking. He's going to swing it out to a man. It's caught. He makes one man miss, but not the second. And he's going to be burnt down.
Yeah, nice little play there. Get something real quick. Try to get Spinago out in the flats, and he did a good job, like you said, of making the first guy miss. But again, here comes that pressure flow defense. That's what you want the kids to do. Keep running to the ball.
Right. So it's going to be third down and around 5 for the Bobcats. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. They are trailing 28-6, but they are moving towards the Guyan Valley end zone. Starcher under center, 2 backs behind him, 2 receivers split to the right. He's going to give to the first man through. Could that have been Xander Tidd again on the carry there, Brian?
Yeah, with a bit of hard running as he comes through the line of scrimmage, Again, doing a nice job of carrying a few guys of the Guyan Valley defenders with him.
We're going to wait and see. The referees are going to say stop the clock. I think they're going to – nope, he's going to say it's a first down. So the clock stops until they get the chain set. And he will blow it in play. We've got about 29.2 seconds to go here in the third. And Hamlin on the move.
Again, you can see Hamlin splitting guys out, trying to get some guys out of the way from the middle. Spread them out a little bit.
He's going to take it to the second man through. I believe that's Spinago. He's going to be a nice open field tackle there by that young man, 32. I believe that was John Coleman.
Yeah. He doesn't do it on offense just alone. He does defense too. Yeah, I can inform you, I talked to the officials there at halftime. I didn't know if they were aware of our broadcast, and I told them that if they needed help with the replay, just let us know. We're here for you.
Did you also mention, too, that the house gets 20% of all earnings? Okay, so that is the end of our third quarter. Brian,
okay, we're here for the other Armstrong fan of the game. First of all, I want to allow these cheerleaders the opportunity to get their name, and so that they're going to be on camera. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, we're showing that the folks show now as we're having our second half Armstrong fan of the game, as you see the Hamlin cheerleaders over here.
We have the lovely Seema Grayley here, Mrs. Seema Grayley, who has been chosen by the cheerleading squad to be the fan of the game. So we're going to give her this nice little gift basket from Armstrong. So thank you so much. Now you can go sit on that cold thing back again. Thank you, ladies.
All right, there was the Armstrong fan of the game for the second half there. Again, all this brought to you by Armstrong Cable. As we get ready here for Hamlin, has the ball second and long. And again, a little heavy dose of the Tid kid. It's worked for you. Ride that pony, as they say.
Working very, very well. Hamlin's found some running room there in Guyan Valley defense. And Tid's going to pick up about 6 yards on the play, brings up third, and we'll call that 3.
Again, right, I would say either a little dose of Tid or maybe you get something on the opposite side to Spinagle now.
Starcher takes and gives to the first man through.
Tid again running hard.
Bit of a traffic jam there at the line of scrimmage, Brian, but I think he may be a little short, guys, on the spot. I'm going to wait and see. Referees say they're saying it is 4th down. 4th down and less than a yard for Hamlin. Big play coming up here for the Bobcats.
A lot of time left. Anything can happen.
So the Bobcats, 6:35 to go here on a rolling clock in the 4th quarter. We're at Pritchard Williamson Field for the Battle of the Hill rivalry between Hamlin and Guyan Valley. And I think one of the Bobcats took off a little bit too soon, and that's going to cost them 5. That's a false start against the Bobcats.
Again, what a crucial mistake right there in that play. You're 4th and short. Now you're 4th and long. You know, you have had some success running the ball up the middle, a little bit passing. Right now, for Coach Shemp, I would maybe go with a little screen pass maybe to the outside or maybe that little flare pass and try to get something outside to Spinagle.
Well, you've got 4th down and a little bit more than 5 yards. It's almost 6. And Starchers will take and pass. And there's your swing pass, and it is knocked down by the Guyan Valley defense. Number 58, I think.
For Guyan Valley?
I believe so. Could have been a 56. I can't really tell.
How about a 50, Brady Brown?
Okay, 50. Okay.
Read that one. I mean, he kind of said, I think he'd seen that and knew he was coming and said, let's just go in and almost picked it.
So the Wildcats defense holds on downs.
And, you know, we've said this so much, but how much do penalties come back to haunt you?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
And you see what Coach Shemp was trying to do. Run the line of scrimmage real quick, snap it real quick, kind of catch him off guard.
Right.
And the kid just got a little quick with it.
Yep.
You know, it's real hard for us to forget these are kids.
That's right.
These are still, 6th, 7th, 8th graders.
So Guyan Valley has the first 10 from just outside their own 20-yard line. Levens takes and gives to the first man through. That's John Coleman. He's rumbling. John Coleman breaks the tackle. Oh, my goodness, and he had a lot of daylight in front of him, and he knows it, but
The grass monster.
Grass Monsters.
They come up every once in a while, and you can see him. He was already seeing the end zone on that one.
The Grass Monsters rose up and got him, but not before he rips off about 20 yards on the play, almost 30. And it's going to be a nice first down for Guyan Valley with coming up on the 6-minute mark here of the 4th quarter. Wildcats leading 28-6. Evans under center. And there is the jet sweep, and that's number 15. I believe that's Hunter Jeffrey looking for room, making a few guys miss.
And I think right now, if you look, there's Noah Higgins was holding his helmet, and he's not upset. He's not hurt at all. He's upset at himself because he was trying to make a great block. The only problem is Jeffrey's cut back into him. It's like, I know. But again, that's impressive to see a kid that knows. He knows. He's like, that was 6.
Like we were talking about. So another first down for the Wildcats as they are matriculating the ball down the field. We're under 5:20 to go here in the 4th quarter. Wildcats.
Brought out matriculating for the first time.
Yes, they are matriculating the ball down the field. Levens takes and gives to Ethan Jeffrey in the backfield. That's number 14. And he's got a seam and a crease and a hole. And
Whoa.
Jeffrey's gonna spin around. right around the 35-yard line. What a nice piece of running down inside the 30, around the 27-yard line. And if that Hamlin Bobcat defender doesn't get a hand on Jeffrey's jersey, he is in the house.
I can tell you I was breaking out the whoa Nelly, as Keith Jackson used to say. What an impressive run. And I tell you what a burst of speed that kid showed.
I like the way, too, that he hesitated there in the backfield, waited for the block to set up, and then he hit the hole and he was down the field. So big first down run for the Wildcats. Blevins under center, 2 receivers to his right, one going in motion. He's going to give to the second man through, and I believe that is number 32.
Actually, that's 21.
I'm sorry, correction, 21.
Yeah, Jordan Gregory.
Jordan Gregory on the carry. Nice bit of running.
Not for sure what grade the Gregory kid's in, but again, it seems like right so far, I can tell you guys, Guyan Valley just keeps substituting the running backs in, and they're not missing a beat.
They are not, and it is now a first down and 10 for Guyan Valley at around the Hamlin 15-yard line. Blevins comes up under center. Unbalanced line to the right. Sends a man in motion, gives it to the motion man. He's got a hole and a crease. He's going to pick up a nice few chunks of yards there.
Now, I hate to talk about the coach. I've been praising him all night, but something that drives me nuts when the coaches run the jet sweep to the short side of the field.
Not a lot of room over there.
Now, if it had scored, Coach Webb's a genius. And
Right.
But since it didn't, I get a pick on him.
Well, I think he was trying to outflank him there and get that seal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Coach Webb probably let me know about that one.
All right, Blevins under center. Second down, and we'll call it 9 from around the 14-yard line for the Wildcats. Man in motion gives to the second man through. That is Gregory up the middle. And he's going to be wrapped up by a couple of Bobcats there in the middle of the field, but he picks up about 4 or 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, that was a nice little one-handed tackle by Tid there. I mean, he got that big paw out to just try to slow him down. So, good stop by Tid. And, you like to see the kids like this because right now, Hamlin could really easily drop their heads
They could.
and just quit playing. But they're not. They're still fighting, and that's what you want to see out of these kids.
So third down, and we'll call it 4 yards for the Wildcats. Blevins under center. 2 receivers split to his left, 1 out to his right. Sends a man in motion. Give to the second man through, and he's going to be met in the hole by the Bobcat defensive line. Wow, that was a great defensive play there by the Bobcats as number 21, Jordan Gregory, gets hit in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, that looked like number 70 for Hamlin. I'm trying to see that number on there. That was Dalton Miller. Just burst through the line of scrimmage on that one. Showed a little quickness, and Gregory had nowhere to go.
So fourth down after the loss for the Wildcats. And looks like about 9 yards to go for the first down.
I'm thinking something in a little past the flats from Blevins.
Okay.
Either that or maybe the jet sweep to the wide side of the field this time.
Okay. So Blevins breaks the huddle and brings his troops up. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Blevins sends a man in motion. That's number 20. He's going to take and give it to number 20. He's going to be wrapped up in the backfield too. That was Lucas Johaim on the carry.
Yeah, I think it's his first carry, and you can see what Coach Webb's doing. He's getting some of the younger guys in here, which is exactly what you want to do. Get these younger guys in, get them some experience, because guess what? That's your guys next year.
That's right.
This is big for them to get to do that.
And what better to make sure you get those young guys into, especially in, the big rivalry game. Everybody's been talking about it. You want to see some action. You want to get that uniform dirty before you go home.
Yeah, and you got 1:49 left, in the game. It's 28-6. The game's well in control.
Sure.
So you get these guys some young experience. You can see he's doing on defense now. He substituted a lot of guys.
All right, so the Bobcats break the huddle after holding Guyan Valley on downs inside the red zone. They've got 2 receivers out to the right, and there's a penalty flag on the play. Think Guyan Valley may have too many?
Well, listen, come on. If you can get by with it, that's a smart play. But that's what you get when you get the young kids in here. You get some substitution errors.
All right, so that's going to be 5 yards for the Bobcats. and they're going to have a first down and 5.
Ted trying to bounce on the outside.
Oh, there's a fumble on the play. Do we have our first turnover of the night? We sure do. And the Wildcats have recovered.
Yeah, I think Ted was trying to switch hands with the ball, which is a smart move to kick it to the outside. You know, hasn't run a lot of experience there, and then got one of the Guyan Valley guys just punched it away.
So the Wildcats comfortably in front after the turnover, 28-6. 1:42 to go here in the fourth quarter. Let's see what Pat Webb and the Wildcats decide to do.
I can see Coach Webb down there, and you can see this kid, I think number 60, that recovered the fumble, and he is just beside himself right now, so excited. That's great to see the young kids.
Well, we just got a score in here from Morgantown. Looks like the Mountaineers are rolling the Baylor Bears 41-0. You should be pretty pleased with that there, Mr. Vance.
I said this is going to be a huge game for the Mountaineers, because after the Iowa State game, you know,
That's true.
you were number 6 in the country. Everything was going your way. You laid this egg. You could have really easily laid down and said, see what the coaching staff can do to get them back up. Looks like so far they've done a pretty good job.
All right. So Guyan Valley breaks the huddle. And now they have their full complement of players out there. It looks like Levin's under center. He's going to take a knee, and it looks like it's victory formation now for the Wildcats as Pat Webb, with his comfortable lead that they've earned here against Hamlin, is going to simply run the clock out. And, Brian, this will be a nice close to the Battle of the Hill rivalry game, and it looks like the trophy is going to come over on this side of the hill for the next 365 days. And I think Miss Jonalyn Davis is going to be very happy.
Yeah, I think she's going to polish it up. You know, I think she's going to have, and you got to think at her house now, she's got 365 days.
Wow.
To,
I almost feel bad for Coach Davis too, you know, because that's what's going to happen. 365 days. I told you so.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Hey, congratulations to the Guyan Valley Wildcats. What a great game they showed up tonight.
Well, what a great game, and this also gives them a 2-1 record in the county standings. So the Wildcats are going to come up in second place as of right now. We'll have to wait and see what happened a little further up the road tonight at Harts, West Virginia, because Duval and Harts were playing. If Duval won that game, then the Yellow Jackets will be the 2018 Jimmy D. Walls Memorial Lincoln County Football Champions.
And it's been a good year for them. You know, they've had a really good year this year. They got a pretty good squad.
So with that being said, Brian, what should our viewers take away from this? You know, some of these 8th graders moving on to the high school next year, some of these 7th graders moving up. You know, you look on the scoreboard, you see 28-6, but it's closer than 28-6, I think.
Well,
I think the injury to Koontz was large, and the punt return that Blevins, where he circled back and took it to the house, those were 2 really big plays.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and for Hamlin, the Koontz kid is their offense. You know, a lot of it. He is a very gifted, talented player. So when you lose that was a big part of your offense. But you know, I will say this: you take away that punt, you know, and if they could have went at half 8-6,
Right.
it's a whole different ball game.
That's right.
It really is. So that's how big that play was. I mean, it was just huge. And again, the only downside I would take, really, from both teams tonight, is you just, from the coaching staff, said let's cut out the penalties. You know, the penalties kept killing both teams, kept shooting themselves in the foot, and that's the one thing I like to see them maybe clean up. But I can tell you, for some of these 8th graders, Lincoln County, get ready, because you've got some talent coming up,
Right.
which is nice to see.
Well, on behalf of Brian Vance, I am merely Ryan Pritchard. We're going to be signing off here from Pritchard Williamson Field.
Right, before we go, I'd just like to thank the folks here at Guyan Valley at Pleasant View. Did a fantastic job of helping us get set up and everything, and we can see the trophy getting ready to be presented down here. I'm sure that the principal would go down there and.
We can take care of that, Brian. I'm going to. Oh, we're still live.
Yes, so we have
So we have to say, as you look up to the camera here, so we're going to have to say, first off, again, thank both you two for what you do. It's wonderful, but we got to have to do this. So for the first time in here a couple years, right, Coach? I think it's going to get dusted. We said earlier, when Ryan gets there to present this, now for 365 days, you get the right. So, Ryan, I'll let you do the honors.
All right, well, thank you all for letting us come and broadcast again, too, as your 8th graders are taking their final walk behind you there on the field. Mr. Davis, it was yours for a year, but now you have to give this up for the next 365 days.
They earned the victory. It looks like I'm going to be
All right, and the Rivalry Trophy has changed hands, ladies and gentlemen, here at Pritchard Williamson Field.
And again, we'll take this chance to say thank you for all the hospitality you've showed us, and we hope to do it again next year.
That's exactly right. Well, on behalf of Armstrong Telephone and Cable, I'm Ryan Pritchard for Brian Vance. Don Davis and John Lynn Davis, thank you all for watching here at Pritchard Williamson Field. It's the Battle of the Hill. Wildcats take it this year, 28-6. We'll see you all next year, right here on the Armstrong family of networks.